Hey guys, so today we're looking at gold 15-minute chart and we're going to see how GainzAlgo prints its signals live using the replay mode. So let's go. Okay, we just got a sell signal, then a buy signal, so that's a profitable trade. As you can see, these signals are not, they're not being repainted, or they're also not, lagging. So that's another profitable trade. But yeah, the sell signal is at the very top, the buy signal is at the very bottom. So those are two really good trades. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so the price pushed a little higher than where we would have entered. So actually, you know what? Before we keep going, let's see, where is our I think I saw it previously. There you go. So as you can see, we have resistance here, right? Now you might say, okay, so this definitely would have been a losing trade, but not necessarily. So the first time, right, it touched the resistance. Well, the second time technically, it touched the resistance. The price came down, right? But then the third time, it actually closed above it, right? Now, beginner traders might think that, oh, this has to be a breakout, right? The price is going to go crazy. But if you take a look at these wicks, right, this first initial candle that broke the resistance, look at how long the upper wick is, right? So that means that whenever the price got up to this level, it was sold off, right? And as you can see, I'm pretty sure over half of the candle was sold off, right? That means there's a lot of selling interest, and we can see the same thing, again, when the price pushed up back to similar levels here, it just got sold off. So let's keep looking at it and let's see what happens here. Okay, yeah, there you go. So as you can see, that's a profitable trade. Now, even though this wouldn't have been a big trade, but as you can see, sometimes you don't necessarily have to bail out of the trade immediately. You just should, I mean, I literally just drew one line, looked at it, you know what I'm saying? And it was that simple to see if you want to stay in the trade or not. So yeah, obviously, if the trade, if this candle, hadn't had this big of a wick, and, if it seemed like it was just, going to go crazy, yes, you should bail out of the trade. But just because it goes a little higher than where you entered, you shouldn't immediately want to close the trade. Anyway, so now as you can see with this buy signal, we also see the market dipped a little lower. But right, we always recommend to put your stop loss for buy positions around the local low. So in this case, I would say this is our local low that we would want to put the stop loss at. Now, there are a few reasons why I would want to put it here. First of all, as you can see, there was a lot of support here, right? The price tried many times to go lower than this level, and it never did, right? It tried once here, and then here, so many times, right? So there's definitely good support here, right? So that's the first thing. The other thing is, you might say, oh, well, why wouldn't I put my, stop loss here or here? Well, there are two reasons for that. First, both of, well, this pullback is pretty insignificant, right? This is a small pullback. The same as with this one. But the second reason is that you, obviously, yes, having tight stop losses is important, but when the market is volatile, and I would say that's it's pretty volatile here, right? You want to give the price some room to fluctuate. So if you give it very little room to fluctuate, your stop loss will get hit, right? And it will get hit a lot. And a lot of a lot of people will say, oh, just use tight stop losses, put it just above the line or right at the resistance or support line. But that's how you lose all of these trades. It's because sometimes you just gotta give the price some more room to fluctuate. I mean, look at how the price sometimes just explodes, just out of nowhere, just boom. For example here, right? Just 2 candles and it moved this much. So and this doesn't mean that the price is gonna go down all the way, right? And even if it does, this support would probably be able to have it come back up, right? So you just want to make sure you're not playing it too you just want to make sure that you give the price the room that it needs to fluctuate. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay, so it went a little down. Okay, as you can see, this is the same thing as I was talking about here, right? Once again, a big wick. This time it's a lower wick, right? So once again, when the price came back to came down to this level, what happened? It immediately came back up. Why is that? Because there's a lot of, buying interest. A lot of people want to buy. Well, not necessarily a lot of people, but just maybe, one big whale, whatever. But there's, good buying volume here. And as you can see, the price tried to push back. It couldn't even go back down to this level, and it already came back up, right? Because there's a lot of buying interest here. So let's keep going now. Oh, look at that. I mean, well, then again, we haven't gotten our sell signal yet, but I mean, if you wanted to bail out of this trade, you could have done it, you could have done that at around this level, right? Right when the price came close to that resistance line. Anyways, let's see what happens next. Oh, look at that. Well, would you look at that? Anyways, we're waiting for our sell signal now. But yeah, you see, like that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you just have to give the price some room to fluctuate, especially when it's, being volatile and stuff, because, sometimes one move could literally wipe you out, right? It could literally wipe out your position if your stop loss is too tight. So having a super tight stop loss is not good, right? Anyways, so as you can see now, in this case, this sell signal is awesome in my opinion, right? We haven't seen how it plays out yet, but if you take a look, right, the price made this high, right? Then it tried to come back up, right? Well, it tried to, make a new high, but it couldn't. And I would say that this is practically a double top, right? Now, a double top, obviously, these patterns, they're only so good, right? But it is still a good indication that the price couldn't, go any higher. That means there's a lot of selling interest here. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it was flat for a little. Oh, there you go. Now it's dropping. So a little slow. Okay. Ooh, oh, look at that. Once again, the price, as you can see, it made a higher high, right? And as I said before, you want to make sure you give the price some room to fluctuate. Now, in this case, as you can see, the price just made a new high, right? So you might say, oh, well, so where do I put my stop loss? There are no, local highs here to put the stop loss for the short position. Well, sometimes you might have to, go to higher time frames, see where the previous earlier highs were. But you can, for example, take one move, for example, like this, right after this pullback. You can measure out this move, because this is also good to account for the current market volatility. As you can see, this move was 1.26%. So now if we flip it like that, let me just get off the auto mode, and your stop loss, I didn't mean to do that. Your stop loss could be right here. Now you might say, well, isn't this a little, big of a stop loss? Absolutely not. When the market is this volatile, in my opinion, this is acceptable, right? Obviously, it depends, what kind of leverage you're working with, and if this makes sense. But if we disregard your leverage and all that, if you're just doing a normal trade, in my opinion, this is very reasonable. Anyways, so yeah, our stop loss would be around 1844. Let's see if it gets hit. Oh, there you go. We got a buy signal. So as you can see, a small trade, but the market was flat. So to be fair, not too bad. Anyways, let me delete that. But yeah, so as I said, like, you don't want to have very tight stop losses and rush to bail out of the trades, right? Obviously, yes, if the trade is losing, you don't want to stay in it for too long. But sometimes, right, especially if there's good indications like that resistance I was talking about, and as you can see, that's the other thing. So we had another resistance here, right? What happened when the market closed above it? A big upper wick. What does that mean? A lot of selling interest. Like, I'm telling you, if you just understand what is going on, you will be obviously, like, yes, you will still have losing trades, because no one knows the future, right? But if you just use some of these tips I share, you could do very good, very good, way better than an average trader. Anyways, let's keep going. So now we got a buy signal. Okay, that's just a perfect trade. As you can see, the very low there as well. The sell signal came in, was at the highest point so far here. So as you can see, a small little, short and nice trade. Let's keep going now. Ooh, that's a nice little, small little trade. So as you can see, GainzAlgo is doing really good right here. So as you can see, guys, GainzAlgo does not repaint or lag. It works very well. And as you can see, particularly on this, gold 15-minute chart, it did wonderfully. And yeah, we did have some cases where the price would go below our entry, but using some simple tips that I gave you, you would have been able to avoid any potential losses here. And as you can see, all of these trades here would have been profitable. Now I'm using GainzAlgo Pro, the Pro version. It's the best. and these are the settings I find to work the best for this chart. So if you want to get GainzAlgo, go to GainzAlgo.com, and if you want to get the same thing I have, get the pro version. We currently have 80% off, so if you want to get GainzAlgo for the best deal ever, do it as soon as possible because it will be going away soon. And if you have any other questions, comments, suggestions, anything like that, make sure to leave those down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.